Hi everyone, it's me, and today let's read a book, a FNAF book, together.
Alright! New Five Nights at Freddy's book drop!
Hi,
Let's see what's new to talk about in the world of FNAF.
In the world of FNAF. Look who's interested.
Readers beware, you're in for a scare when Fazbear Entertainment unveils their most twisted creation yet, sea bonnies. Small blue fish with rabbit ears. When Mott drinks a tainted glass of water, tremble as they multiply inside his stomach and steal his identity. One cloned human made up of thousands of little blue bunny fish. Nope.
Nope. I really like it that Pet is just like, nope, nope, nope. I'm going to go out. Yup. Joke aside, let's continue.
Hello Internet! Welcome to Game Theory, the show that asks, have you signed my petition to make me the host of Jeopardy yet? I just need about 80,000 more signatures to get to our goal. And whether or not you know or even care what Jeopardy is, just know that your signature on that petition is a way to help support me getting to live out.
Added note, they just announced that Ken Jennings is hosting for the rest of the year, but MadPat's still not giving up because no permanent host has been decided, and hey, there's always been Jeopardy, and hey, there's always Teen Jeopardy.
A childhood dream of mine. Well, also just a huge vote of support to all of your favorite digital creators who often get overlooked and tossed aside by mainstream media. As a great example of that, our petition, when it crossed 200,000 signatures in a week, got covered by one blog. Huge shout out to Newsweek, thank you for recognizing a digital creator's value in the world. Meanwhile, an older school celebrity whose petition took nearly a year to get to the same place got tons of articles all over the place. Just saying, iniquity in this space, it's a real thing. Anyway, it's not like I'm gonna be leaving the channels or anything like that, if anything were to come of this. So if you have any questions, those are all answered down in the description along with the link so you can go and sign it. Push me over the goal. I just love to show the world yet again why this community and why digital creators as a whole are worthy of attention and respect. I know you guys are. I'm fighting on all of our behalves and I'm gonna keep shoving it down people's throats until they start to listen. Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and I generally think that, yes, show support. I'm a new uprising content creator, and I'm learning a lot from the Game Theorists. I'm learning a lot from MadPat, and thank you so much.
Much for your support. Now, on to FNAF. You know the phrase jumping the shark? It dates back to an episode of the classic series Happy Days, which aired in the mid-70s and early 80s. This show crushed, running for 11 seasons and staying as a top 5 most watched show for 3 straight years. People loved this thing. Anyway, season 5, episode 3. At the peak of the show's fame, they do a special series of episodes where the characters all take a trip to Hollywood, and the cool guy in the show, the Fonz, is challenged to test his bravery by jumping over a shark on water skis. And as you probably guessed, he does it, complete with swim trunks and trademark leather jacket. It was a moment that was so ridiculous, so over the top and so dumb that it single-handedly created the phrase that would forever after be used when a series loses all of its sense. At this point, FNAF, it's jumped all the sharks, just a big ol' shark sandwich, giant tower of sharks right there. The only thing that would make this more sharky would be if it suddenly introduced a shark animatronic. They haven't done that yet, right? Right? Huh, okay, well, there's still time. Those Bonnie Guppies getting dangerously close, just saying. But in all seriousness, over in Bookland, the Fazbear Fright series has just released its penultimate installment, and it's weird. Tiny rabbit guppies that steal your identity. A pink substance called Fazgoo that hunts you down and steals your identity. Animatronics that body swap you in order to steal your identity. Huh, there's a definite pattern in these stories, isn't there? Could animatronics stealing identities and humans not actually being themselves be somehow important to the lore of the series? Certainly seems like the books are beating that point over our heads. And honestly, this points to a larger trend here. For as crazy as these stories have gotten, and believe me, they've really gone off the rails at this point, there's definitely still merit in them from a lore-solving perspective. Because, as I'm about to show you, for every story about underwater rabbit guppies swimming around in your insides, there's another one or two that get you asking brand new questions about both the past and future of the franchise. So go ahead, take a break from eating your best friend that happened to fall into a vat of pizza sauce, something that yes, also kind of happened in one of these stories, and consider the following 3 theories ripped straight from the pages of the books. Theory number 1, Chica started as a mediocre melody.
What the? Okay. Oh, okay. That's a lot of again. So, theory number one. Let's go. Let's go.
Fazbear Frights book number 9, The Puppet Carver, we're told the story of Jack, manager of a failing pizzeria named the Pizza Playground. Yeah, it's not actually a Freddy Fazbear establishment. And you see, that's an important detail since every other pizza place in the Fazbear Frights book series has tied back to Freddy's in some way. But for some reason, this one is deliberately different. What's also noteworthy about the Pizza Playground is the restaurant's animatronic band, which, we're told, breaks down frequently. These things are straight up busted. The roster includes a banjo-strumming country pig, a bear creatively named Baron Von Bear, 2 other unnamed creatures that have already broken down, and a, quote, weird bird thing. Now, if the words banjo pig don't jump out to you, well, congratulations, you have a richer and more fulfilling life than I do, because when I hear that phrase, my mind immediately jumps to one thing: the mediocre melodies. The crew of broken animatronic rejects able to be purchased way back in FNAF 6 Pizzeria Simulator. A crew of animatronics consisting of a banjo-playing pig, an off-brand Freddy Fazbear ripoff with a southern accent named Ned Bear, a talkative hippo, a cute young frog, and an overdramatic elephant. They're characters that we all brushed off at the time because they just seemed unaffiliated with anything Fazbear related. And then they came back, returning an ultimate custom night where they collectively gave voice to Cassidy, the one you should not have killed, as evidenced by voice lines like this.
Everyone underestimates me, but then they turn their back and I'm like, boo, and they're like, what?
Sorry, queued up the wrong clip. It's this one.
This is how it feels, and you get to experience it over and over. I will never let you leave.
You know, it suddenly occurs to me that maybe they were the ones that had to be Cassidy's voice in this game.
Oh my gosh. Think about it. I will never let you leave. That means aka no escape. What the?
Because he's a spirit who's trapped inside Golden Freddy, a spring-lock suit who was never actually given a true voice box, whereas everyone else in the series was given a voice, at least at some point. Just a thought that I had randomly in the recording booth as I was rereading these lines. Also, Springtrap is able to talk because he has a guy inside of him, so interesting. Anyway, the mediocre melodies, a generic Freddy alternative, a country pig that plays the banjo, unnamed other characters that break down frequently. It seems like Pizza Playground's animatronics are indeed the mediocre melodies, which makes the call out of a weird bird thing being part of the band particularly interesting. Was Chica originally a mediocre melody? Chica has always been a bit of an oddball in the group. For instance, she's the only one to go missing for a game, specifically in Sister Location when she's the only one of the core 4 to not appear. And if you'll remember all the way back to the teasers for Sister Location, Chica's Party World was listed in the source code as a separate establishment away from Circus Baby's entertainment and rentals. We also
True. Circus Baby and entertainment and rental is different from Chica's Party World. Why?
know that Freddy and Bonnie have been together since their literal golden days, which means that Chica had to have been a later addition to the crew. Maybe she was with another band of animatronics the entire time. I mean, even the theming makes more sense with the mediocre melodies. Something about chicken animatronic wearing a bib just fits better alongside a farm-themed banjo pig and bear with a southern drawl. Kinda makes you wonder where Foxy the pirate comes in now, huh? Anyway, the reason I bring all of this up is that for a long time I've suspected that Chica is the key to the whole timeline of these games. No joke, I've literally had an email in my inbox for years addressed to myself reminding me to follow the missing Chica since
Hi MadPat, it's MadPat. Follow the missing Chica, love MadPat.
coming
XOXO. To MadPat, subject, very important, please read. New message.
going from the lineup seems important, but up until now I've never had enough dots to put together in a timeline. We've known for a long time that she was the first to get stuffed with the little girl Susie. But now this story, potentially connecting her to the mediocre melodies, is yet another piece of evidence that we can use. So if you ever see a video titled Follow the Missing Chica, you'll know that we finally figured it out. Theory number
Oh, they actually created the thumbnail first before the video, before the concept of the video even came out.
2, Balloon Boy solves a lot? Oh boy, it's time I talk about him. I don't know if you've noticed this, but 50 videos into our FNAF series and I haven't talked about Balloon Boy once.
Justice for Balloon Boy. I love internet.
Not a single theory dedicated to that guy. Go back and check me on that, but I've intentionally avoided him, largely because he doesn't fit anywhere. His design is different, his behavior is different, he doesn't seem to be possessed by kids, and honestly, I've just never had a good sense of what to do with Balloon Boy in the lore of this franchise. Until today, in that same puppet carver story with the mediocre melodies, we're introduced to Porter, the handyman who's supposed to be in charge of the faulty animatronics of the pizza playground. But Porter dreams of bigger things. You see, he's a bit of an animatronics genius, and his plan is to take wood and transform it into something alive. To quote from the story, I'm almost finished with the prototype of my machine. It will create low-cost but highly functional animatronics made from only an inexpensive slab of wood. And not only is this guy a genius, he aspires to greater things. Quote again, once I get a patent on my invention and find a buyer, I'm gonna be out of here so fast I'll leave a dust trail. I mean, taking wood and imbuing it with the ability to move on its own? Yeah, I'd say that's...
I get it. Dust trail, as in the sawdust trail. Get it? It's a joke. Anyways.
Gonna earn you some quick cash. And here's the thing, it works. In the story, we see Porter turn a log into an actual moving character, no remnant or Fazgoo required. He flips a switch on its back and it just comes to life. They describe it as resembling the drawing models from high school art class, but specifically call out that were you to put the figure in a fuzzy suit, it would resemble a bunny or a fox or a bear, and you'd have a low-cost animatronic. In short, it feels like this story gives us a lot. First, reading the story felt...
Isn't that something straight out of, I don't know, Pinocchio? Doesn't mean that the nose can go long? Huh.
Like reading Henry's origin, a brilliant creator and animatronic inventor just looking for a buyer to partner up with to launch his career, a buyer maybe named William Afton? Seems to me that Henry was a college engineer with a great idea, and his earliest experiments were in the form of these living wooden dolls. This, in turn, explains both Balloon Boy and the mini-renas. Remember, the book described his wooden puppets as resembling the drawing models from high school art class, which, if you're not familiar, are these guys. That is why we have so many living dolls wandering around these pizzerias that don't seem to have spirits inside of them, only able to say basic words like,
Hi. Hello.
in short, Balloon Boy isn't an animatronic, or at least not in the way that we all consider animatronics, as, you know, living robots with dead children's souls trapped in them, infused with remnant, all that.
Is different from wood.
That good stuff. Taking it one step further, this might even have timeline implications. Wooden dolls appear in pretty much all the games currently thought to be the earliest in the timeline. FNAF 2, of course, with Balloon Boy, but also very heavily in Sister Location. On the main console, there's a marionette named Little Joe, a doll named the Magician, a gypsy figurine, and a series of human heads. Ennard's Mask, Music Man, the mini-arenas, Baby, Ballora, even the puppet's face all seem to stem from this era of Henry's creations. It seems to me that the wooden dolls and marionettes were all designed as he was trying to develop the look and feel of the Funtime animatronics, leading up to the eventual opening and immediate closure of Circus Baby's Pizza World. As a reminder, Baby
Closed forever.
Pizza World has never actually appeared in a game. Rather, we know that it exists based on hidden website text, and that it was closed down due to a quote-unquote gas leak, which is just PR speak for Afton's daughter getting nabbed by Baby, and the characters got retired down into the basement, which would eventually become Circus Baby's Entertainment and Rentals. The only game that happens earlier than these two is currently FNAF 4, and wouldn't you know it, that's also the only one without a Balloon Boy appearance, or rather a questionably canon appearance since Nightmare Balloon Boy was in it briefly as part of the Halloween update. Long story short, perhaps the appearance of Balloon Boy and the other wooden clown-faced characters marks the start of William and Henry's partnership. I know a lot of people tend not to believe me when I say that a lot of evidence points to Sister Location happening early in the...
Note, referring to the creation of sister locations and the animatronics only, the game events happen later.
Timeline, but I think all of this is yet more fuel to that fire. And while we're on the subject of William, theory number 3, William Afton is a stepfather. At the beginning of this theory, I made the observation that a huge number of Fazbear Fright stories have a theme of identities being stolen. At this point, it feels like it appears once in every book. The other massive theme that keeps recurring in these tales are single-parent households, dads abandoning the family and just straight-up bad dads. Lots and lots of bad fathers. Up through the 8th book, 12 of 24 stories feature a single-parent home. Just to run through some quick examples, in the book Step Closer, there are 2 stories that have a dad up and leave the family. 1:35 a.m. is about a foster child that had an abusive foster dad. The New Kid, another abusive dad who left. The Cliffs is about a single dad losing a son. Breaking Wheel has the character Reed, who has a single dad who's, quote, trying his best. And in the short story What We Found, which is...
No. Trying his best is wrong. Trying his best is wrong. His best is only one individual doing the right thing. That collectively, everybody else think that is majority thinks that is best is better. It's like comparing one opinion, one of your best, and one of millions of best. Learn from that.
Is basically just a retelling of FNAF 3. Hudson loses his father when he takes his own life on account of mental illness, only to wind up with Lewis, yet another abusive stepfather. To me, this is not a coincidence. It's the books yet again trying to point our attention to a common theme in the game, that Afton may not be the father that we've assumed he was this entire time. At this point, we're fairly certain that the orange guy from the FNAF 6 minigame Midnight Motorist is Purple Guy, who is also William Afton, and we see that he's far from a caring and compassionate father, banging on doors, yelling at his son, making threats. Shock of all shocks, a guy who moonlights by kidnapping kids and running experiments on their remnant soul juice isn't a father you want to go into the backyard and play catch with. What?
Then don't just give them these options. Don't give them these options. If they got the options, they can choose. Don't do that. They got the freedom to choose it because it's right there. 眼不看为净. The mere exposure effect, you know. If I don't live in the palace, I will not be able to have options of being a palace. I will not have the freedom to choose the privilege of choosing in the palace. Alright? If I live in a farm, if I live in a spaceship, I do not live in a spaceship. I do not have the privilege to choose. Yeah, I want this space thing. I want to travel the moon tomorrow. I don't have this privilege. Yeah.
Oh, who would have saw that one coming? But the fact is, the books seem to be alluding to another layer in this, that he isn't actually crying child or a...
Learn from it. Learn from it. And improve upon it. Just keep these evil forces away.
Elizabeth's biological father. It would explain why Baby in both the Silver Eyes trilogy and Fazbear Frights feels a cold distance from her dad. Not just that he's lost in his work, but that he's not interested in her outside of what she can do for his experiments. That might be why he actually prefers Henry's daughter to his own. It might also explain Afton's relationship with the crying child, how we've suspected for a while that Afton might have been running experiments on him, torturing him with animatronics and supervising him with surveillance cameras from his underground office. Taking it one step further, remember that story of Hudson whose dad took his own life? Well, Henry in both Silver Eyes and FNAF World is shown to take his own life. And Hudson in the Fazbear Fright story is a very clear parallel for Michael Afton. So could Michael Afton have started as Henry's son, only to wind up as William's stepson? Think back to the Sister Location cartoons.
Clara, the baby isn't mine.
An undying vampire in purple repeatedly saying, "He's not my son," in between every night of that game. I mean, it is a big swing when it comes to theories, but I think there's at least some interesting parallels there to consider. Supporting this,
True, interesting parallels, interesting reference that he is not my son in the games.
we've also yet to see any adult females in the Afton household. Now, I've speculated that Bellora's song is about a wife leaving her husband when he can't escape his own grief, but who knows? That song could be related to Henry's grief at the loss of his daughter Charlie. In the original novels, we're shown that Charlie dies, and that Henry loses his mind with grief, leading him to eventually take his own life. What if the line about an empty tomb isn't William's sadness, but rather a song about Henry's? And that in the aftermath of his death, his kids go to William, his partner. Oh yeah, speaking of Charlie, did you know that the puppet's name officially was Coils the Clown for a while? It's true. In the story Jump for Tickets, we're introduced to a character named Coils the Clown who, quote, has a lanky body with lemon and lime stripes. It has long arms, 3 fingers, and a face that looks like a crescent moon that turns upside down when it's sad. And just like the security puppet in the game, Coils the Clown is canonically responsible for roaming around the restaurant looking for intruders and gets sad when a child dies accidentally on his watch. Again, like everything with all the books, there's definitely some changes that have been made, but the thought of the puppet having an actual name and that name being funny like Coils the Clown made me pretty happy, even though it was a small thing. So there you have it, friends. 3 more theories to chew on down in the comments below and on the Game Theorists subreddit. You can bet that I will be reading all of your thoughts, so make sure you keep them coming. I don't know if any of these will lead to massive lore revelations, but hey, they were things that I thought were at least worthy of calling out and thinking about. And all of this is without even mentioning the stuff that's happening around Security Breach. I mean, have you seen the new images coming out of their secret website? right? It's pretty terrifying stuff. Still early days to be sure over there, which is why I didn't want to comment on any of that yet, but you can bet that we're starting to get close to the actual release of a game in this game franchise. FNAF season is upon us yet again, and finally I'll have a game to talk about rather than more books. So stay safe and watch out for any misfiring animatronics tied to security databases. In the meantime, remember, it's all just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching. You know, we joke about it a lot on the channels, but FNAF really has taken over my life. I mean, if I'm not gonna scour all 10 Fazbear Frights books for lore the second they're released, then who's gonna? Recently, though, I've been trying to broaden my horizons by consuming content that isn't FNAF related. I know, shock of all shocks. I'm actually dipping my toe into the world of modern independent cinema. You know, things like Willy's Wonderland, the Banana Splits movie. Oh, shoot. Well, haunted pizzeria inspired or not, today's sponsor, NordVPN, is here to connect you with your favorite content from around the world. Nord is the trusted online security solution used by hundreds of thousands of internet users worldwide, including myself, in order to keep their online info safe behind a wall of next generation encryption. So if your open tabs look anything like mine, you can rest easy knowing absolutely no one will ever have the ability to track your data. Not even Nord. With their strict no logs policy, they don't track, collect, or share your private data. Your business stays your business, thankfully for me. Plus, did you know that with a VPN, you're given access to streaming sites from around the world? That's right, with NordVPN, you can access other countries' versions of your favorite streaming sites. For instance, the Banana Splits movie that I talked about earlier, you gotta buy that thing over here in the States, but 2 clicks and suddenly you're over in Canada and it's streaming for free on Netflix. Same thing with Willy's Wonderland. Here in the States, you need Hulu, but 2 clicks over to Canada yet again, and animatronic horror is streaming for free on Netflix. Huh, things really are better north of the border, and you can enjoy those things without leaving your home using Nord. So get Nord today and help support the channel by clicking the link in the description below or going to nordvpn.com/MattPat. That's MATPAT. And make sure you use that code MattPat at checkout to get a 2-year plan plus an additional 4 months for free. Again, that's nordvpn.com/MattPat with the offer code MattPat at checkout to take advantage of Nord's worldwide servers and ensure your privacy online. And as always, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Well, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you find this video very interesting. Yeah, if you do like this video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and comment down below if you have anything to share with us. Thank you so much, and don't forget to follow our channel as well. Thank you, and yeah, sincerely appreciate all of your support and encouraging words from me. Thank you. Hope to see you in my next video. But hey, that's just a game. I'm sorry, I messed up again. One more time. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Actually, 3 different theories are. It's only 3 different theories. But anyway. But hey, that's just 3 theories. 3 game theories. Oh, that sounds weird. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye. Bye bye. Game theorists. Game theories. Game theories. 3 game theories. 3 game theories. Sorry. Subscribe. Thank you.